There is only one power and one presence in this universe, and that is God the Omnipotent. We here at Unity honor the many names of and the many paths to God. Will you please stand for our invocation by Unity co-founder Charles Gilmore. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our will according to thy perfect law. And our Lord's Prayer, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Will you please turn in your hymnals to page 208. We sing the new religion, 208. Relax into the arms of God, the omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence that is there waiting to guide and comfort you and help you refocus with Christ's vision. Relax into the higher vibration vibrations of harmony, health, happiness, and infinite possibilities that are there for those who choose them. Rest now in peace and oneness with Spirit for a moment in the silence of prayer. Let your true essence come forth. Whatever problems you are dealing with right now, whatever you are doing in your mind, let them go and rest for a while. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that you need to do right now except allow yourself to realize your oneness with the divine. Hear the gentle whisper of Spirit saying, "Here, my beloved, I give you rest." Let go of any tension. Retreat to your inner cathedral and sit there quietly and relax in the silence of prayer. May we pray. Dear God, this moment we consent to your omnipresence. We allow ourselves to be at one with your omniscience. And we consent to be led by your omnipotence. We empty ourselves of any preconceived opinions. We ask for enlightened thoughts to flow into every crevice of our minds so that we can see our problems and others with Christ's vision. We ask you to illumine our darkness concerning any situation or person toward whom we feel unforgiving. Help us to remember that all beings are your children and thus divine. Help us to forgive them in our hearts when they know not what they do. Help us to shine your light throughout our daily lives so that we might create the space to be more enlightened, more Christ-like, and thus happier, more peaceful, healthier of mind and body, and more fulfilled in all ways. And may we spread this light to all those who come in our orbit. We ask you to infill us with your ideas. We ask that you help us realize that life is not meant to be a struggle, but joy and ever-expanding fulfillment. May we grow to appreciate every minute and to learn to share this wisdom with others. As we have resurrected from our former selves at Easter, We ask now for movement in every area of our lives. Positive, God-centered movement. We ask that the wonder of living become apparent to us among all happenings. May health, harmony, and joy be brought out into our human awareness so that we can open our eyes and see the divine order in all things. Rest in the silence of prayer. Dear God, I dedicate myself today, body, mind, and soul, to opening up to your wonder and the infinite possibilities that await me. Help me to see them and to understand. In this special time of prayer, we join our individual prayers with all those who are praying everywhere, all those who have chosen the higher path of eternal wisdom. In this time of meditation and prayer, we realize that we are not separate, but there is a oneness between us and God. We realize the wisdom of non-duality, that we are one with Spirit and all beings. In spirit, we are not separate. Our faith is combined. Our minds are a vessel for divine thought, if we are willing. We empty ourselves now of human thought and allow the eternal wisdom and truth to come into our hearts. By becoming silent in our human self, we are causing a movement and activity of the divine in our mind and life. In Jeremiah 33, it says, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things which you have not known." Through the presence of God within you, you are able to think, speak, and act with confidence and wisdom, and know truth. Through the presence of God, you are changing your thoughts to thoughts of peace, joy, health, and abundance. That movement in your mind is happening inside of you now, and joy and health will follow. The mind of peace precedes bodily healing. You have allowed now a great peace inside of you, so healing of body and mind will follow. The presence of God is working inside of you, regenerating and rebuilding your physical body and your mind, releasing all that is not for its highest good. Your mind is serene as this spiritual activity takes place, and your body and mind are made whole. Through the presence of God within you, you are fulfilled and satisfied in every way. The river of life is within you. It is the river of your spiritual thought stream, and it is flowing all the time. The ceaseless, endless flow of your thought, a wellspring that is fed from the perfect, pure ocean of God. It is ceaseless. It is a ceaseless prayer stream of your being, giving you life. think with God, work with God, act with God. Let go and completely let God be your guide. Know that your consciousness is God in expression. You will not contaminate your mind with fear, anger, limitation, or resentment. There is no place for these things anymore. There is no place in your thinking for limited human thoughts. You are one with God. The fountain of God's pure love flows through your soul today. You are forever bathed in the stream of God's life. So go forth, knowing that, and live each day knowing that you are nothing but God essence, which is all there is. Know that God's peace and good are everywhere, and know that this perfect joy, abundance, and happiness are always available to you, regardless of outer circumstances. So go forth today and enjoy the peace, joy, health, and abundance that are yours for the asking, one thought away. And know that you are safe and secure. Amen. Will you please stand and sing hymn The Unity Way, 218. things you could be doing out there. So thank you for being here. I'd like to start with a question, and I'd like you to all think of the answer. Maybe that gave you the answer singing that song. What do you love about unity? Positive? Fellowship? Welcoming? What? Warm feeling. All right, well, a lot of your answers are pretty much what mine are. I've been thinking about that this week too. The question just came to mind this week. What do I love about unity? Why have I been coming here for the last 30 plus years? I asked myself, well, is it because your father was raised in unity and your uncle was sending you copies of We Wisdom, the Children's Unity magazine, from the time you were a little child? Then I thought, no, not really, because my mom sent me to the Episcopal Church. Unity was a little too far out for her when she saw a book on reincarnation on my dad's side table in the late 50s. I used to go to the Episcopal Church around the corner for some 23 years. After I grew up in the Episcopal Church, I even went through 3 years of a ministerial school for the Episcopal Church, Swanee, some of you have heard of. No, my childhood programming was not why I was here. So, in fact, to tell you the truth, it was a total accident that I'm here. I was going to that Episcopal Church one Sunday, and I was too late to go to Mass. They start at 10:30. It's a very ungodly hour. 10:30, I was too late, so I turned around, and I don't want to interrupt them. I'm tooling down the avenue, and I see this sign out there in front that says 11 o'clock service. And hot dog, I'm all just no place to go. I'll just go in and try that. Reverend Ruth Elmer was up here talking. I was blown away, and I never went back to the church around the corner, and I hardly ever missed a Sunday. Sort of like I heard someone say one time, not too long after that, in the ladies' room after church, you sure do get a lot of bang for your buck around here. That about says it all. So why have I been in unity for these last 3 decades? Why do I love unity? I still can't wait to get to the 9:30 class in the morning, to Susan's yoga class, instead of yoga class. So nothing has ever changed. For the first time in my life, the Bible started making sense. Unity presented the Bible in a way that I finally got. The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary that Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder, wrote made the whole thing make sense. These same truths are found in all religions. However, Charles Fillmore made them clear to me. I actually understood. But I knew from experience that everybody thought that their religion was the only one. But Charles Fillmore said it in a way like we say every Sunday, there's only one truth and there's only one God. There's only God in the universe, and all paths, all names lead to that God. I've been, I grew up in Shreveport. I had thought that through the Baptists that I was going to go to hell because I wasn't a Baptist. And then I got down here, and all these Catholics made me feel like I was going to hell because I wasn't a Catholic. Nothing had made sense before. Unity made sense to me. Also, the Bible was no longer full of all these contradictions. I used to want to go to law school. I was, very much into noticing contradictions in places, and there were just so many things that didn't make sense to me. And all of a sudden, there were no contradictions anymore either. Just things like, I remember one sentence, unto them that hath it shall be given. Has that ever bothered anybody else in here? Unto him that hath it shall be given. I thought, that is just not fair. That's not even Christian. It's not spiritual. You don't give to the rich and deprive the poor. How elitist can it be? I finally got it around here. I understood the meaning of giving to him that had. Those who had already learned and gained a certain amount of understanding and understood truth could be given more truth because they had it. You know, as a teacher, I understand those who have Algebra 1 can be given Algebra 2, right? I don't teach math. I also started understanding that people didn't insist on taking the Bible stories literally around here. That used to just drive me crazy. I learned that every person and every place in the Bible was really part of our psyche. And it all makes sense. Like we talked about last week, maybe Moses didn't do every little thing exactly like it says in the Bible from a historical point of view, but our inner Moses does free us from a lot of our doubts and disbeliefs and lack of freedom, and especially our belief that the material level of reality is the only level. Our inner Moses frees us from that. In that sense, the story is absolutely 100% accurate. So all of a sudden I realized all these stories in the Bible meant something. What they meant is they gave us a blueprint for enlightenment. They gave us the way to find heaven on earth. And from that point of view, they were 100% true. They just weren't maybe historically accurate. Maybe they were. I don't know. Nobody seems to. I certainly drove my professors at ministerial school crazy about that. Nobody knows. But in unity, we realize it doesn't matter because it's 100% true in terms of truth and what it means to us. Also, unity helped me understand such things as forgiveness. It helps us, in other words, we don't just, I gotta forgive this person, I hate her, but I gotta forgive him if I'm gonna be a spiritual person. That never worked for me. Maybe it works for some of you. But I suddenly realized forgiveness, the reason for it is because it frees us. It helps us access levels of life wherein we experience joy and peace and health and unlimited possibilities. It just made sense. It was something for me. I had to have it be a little selfish to really get it, but once I got it, oh, right. It helped me understand that when I gave up things like doubt and negativity and judgment of myself and others, I was transformed in my whole vibratory level into a happier state. It was all for me. That's what spirituality is. It's to help us get free. Bottom line, the Bible started making sense around here. There were no more contradictions. It didn't matter if Noah landed that ark in the exact place it said in the Bible, which is quite controversial historically, by the way. It just didn't matter. We're all Noah when we choose to rise above the floods of life that drown most people who hang on to things like negativity and judgment and non-forgiveness and disobedience of the eternal laws. They are controlled and consumed by the floods of life in the form of depression, mental and physical maladies, and maybe an inability to manifest abundance on the physical plane. Those who choose a higher level of living and love and understanding and compassion rise above the floods of life. Therefore, they're building their ark. So they aren't drowned by the turmoils that many people are drowned by. Thus, Noah's Ark story was absolutely 100% true. It just might not have been historically accurate to the exact mountain where that boat landed. 2, I love unity because of you. I love you all. I love the unity members throughout the United States. Where else can you go and meet such intelligent, open-minded people, for example, and spiritually committed. I can talk with you all. When I mention how maybe Jesus is walking on water means that when we're in Christ consciousness, we rise above our emotions that get us down very often, like anger. You all understand. Maybe Jesus walked on water, maybe he didn't literally. But it's 100% true in terms of truth. We all walk above the floods of emotion when we are in our Christ consciousness. 3, the third reason I love unity is because of a profound understanding of psychology. Unity is and has been on the cutting edge since the very start. For example, the third unity principle states that we create our reality by our thinking. We all know that. Most people won't accept that they created their own lives. Have you all noticed out there everybody's blaming everybody else? The Democrats are blaming the Republicans are blaming the Democrats for everything that's wrong around the country, and a million other things. As in Course of Miracles, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore told us that we create our whole world with our thoughts. That is the way that we see and interpret the world out there. Now, it wasn't easy for me at first. I was in the habit of blaming others. I was in the habit of blaming outer circumstances. I went on many a march in my day. I was afraid that if I ascribed to this idea that maybe I would start accepting things too much the way they were and not try to change them. And what I found is that when I let go of blaming the outer world and other people, I had a lot more energy and could see a lot more clearly how to make those changes. And I wasn't completely overcome with all kinds of negativity. Thus, I got better, and my outside world got better too. Fourth reason I love unity is that I now finally understand world religions, which has been a lifelong study of mine, this search for truth. I used to teach Eastern philosophy in my school. This is this quest. I have been everywhere looking. Unity's 5 principles are truths that have been in religion since the beginning of time, but unity made them comprehensible to me. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, as most of you know, attended the World Council of Religion conference in New York early in their career, and they met Swami Vivekananda. They were very influenced by him and his teachings. But Fillmore knew in the early 1900s that in a predominantly Christian America, he needed to filter this eternal wisdom and these truths through Christianity. And so he did. Fine, they can be filtered through any religion. Remember when Reverend Dr. Tony Bain was here a couple of months ago, and she told us recently how at that time that Fillmore had filed away. The 5 unity principles are basically the eternal wisdom that is found in all religions. The principle number 1, unity principle number 1, is there is only God, and that's it, like we say at the beginning of every service. Number 2, it is God is in all of us. Ye are gods. The first principle is the basis of the Bhagavad Gita in Hinduism. God is all there is. God is everywhere. The second one, ye are gods, is in the Christian Bible. 3, we create our world with our thoughts. As Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. The fourth principle is that prayer and meditation are absolutely essential for our growth. That is one way we use the unity tools, as opposed to just learning them and understanding them. And the fifth unity principle underlines that and says it's not enough to just know the truth. We have to practice it. We have to use it. As I said actually several times in the last month, to master anything, the latest brain research says, we've got to learn it, we've got to understand it, we've got to use it. Remember John Dewey said, children learn by doing, and then we master it. I love unity because it constantly reminds me that learning and understanding are very interesting, but that I must use the tools if I am to master them and benefit from them. We need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk in order to benefit from the teachings. And I love the fact that that's constantly emphasized. 6, another reason why I love unity is that it is practical spirituality. It's not just a head trip. It's given me the actual tools to free myself from my programming. I'm not saying I'm free from my programming, but I'm certainly a lot freer than I was before. My inner Moses has definitely helped my inner chosen ones get free of their Egypt. And that used to block my joy, peace, and abundance. The abundance was always there, just waiting, hanging from trees like fruit, waiting for me to partake. But unity gave me the tools to shake the fruit down. And it also opened my eyes to see all the fruit that was already on the ground, just right there waiting for me to take. For example, it's just a psychological verity. We transfer it to ourselves, and we remove the barriers to our appreciation of ourselves, and thus we can manifest more. When we remove the blocks to total acceptance of ourselves and others, those inner God-given talents just start going to work. In Psalms 30 it says, "As for me, I sit in my prosperity. I shall never be moved." In unity we are taught and shown how life is full of prosperity. And unity taught me that prosperity isn't just sitting on a beach in Fiji. Prosperity is in my bedroom, in my bed, looking out my window at the leaves of the trees shimmering, just sparkling like diamonds are falling all in my backyard. It's waking up with my 200-pound Dobermans cuddling against me. I know that doesn't sound like prosperity. They don't like it. It's seeing smiles on my students' faces when they get something. It's hearing that I've shared something from the Unity teachings on Sunday with you that you say meant a lot and helped you solve a problem. It's being alive and having a body that can get me from one place to another. All of this is prosperity. When we live by the Unity principles, we create such a high level of vibration that it just attracts prosperity. I never knew that before. Unity teaches that when we think positively and forgive and have compassion for God's children, who often don't know what they do, we are allowing our inner divinity to direct us in ways of peace, joy, love, and attract abundance. Unity has helped me understand that the whole hype of the Kardashian lifestyle thinking is just a lot of mass hypnosis. Unity has helped me see far beyond limited views of what abundance is. It's sort of like, I didn't ask Susan if I could say it again, but remember, I think I shared with you last week that Susan's Damara's daughter asked her what she did for fun, and it kind of caught her by surprise because she said everything's fun, and that's the way you get. I have been really noticing that. I love unity because I've learned that when I encounter a situation that really triggers me, and I do encounter them, we all do, I've learned to just stop and take a moment, take a deep breath, go within and draw on my inner wisdom before I react, not react from my old programming. Instead of judging or getting mad at the person who was a jerk, I now try to understand that it is what it is, considering the way they're programmed and the way I'm programmed. It would be very interesting to write a chapter in a book about, but I don't have time. I have to deal with it right then, and the best way to do it is just to know. They're on automatic, I'm reactive on automatic. I thus avoid conflict, chaos, catastrophe, not to mention disease-causing stress when I do that. Unity has taught me that forgiveness and compassion save us from unnecessary suffering, so that we can use our energy in more creative, fun ways. I love Unity because its teachings have given me the tools to face challenges and transform them into growth experiences. As James Baldwin said, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. Bottom line, Unity has helped me to think and see positively and thus to face challenges, overcome them, and create a positive life. It has taught me how to convert those seeming challenges into helpful learning experiences so that, okay, bring it on. Bigger challenge, you're going to grow more from it. The old thing, turning the lemons into lemonade. We are taught to view failure as a step closer to success. One more thing that's not the answer to the problem, therefore, one step closer to success. You know, people like Oprah Winfrey, who's really loves Unity, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, they don't come to mind when you're thinking of failure, right? Anybody, if I mention those three names, does anybody think of failure? Probably not. But before their respective breakthroughs as media mogul, tech giant, entertainment pioneer, they each struggled a lot through missteps and setbacks that may have stopped someone a little less determined. Unity teaches that many celebrated people, and they teach us that we too used to deal with these, that leave them in the past. Many of those people faced discouragement and disappointment on their way to greatness. In fact, failure is often the crucial stepping stone on the road to success. The lessons it teaches and opportunity for growth are invaluable. So it changes our whole view of that mass psychosis view of failure. I failed the test. No, you didn't. You just learned a little more when you corrected it and you're going to ace the final exam. Many of these greats failed in different ways before they actually reached their goals. Their accomplishments are testaments to the power that we learn around here all the time of resilience and determination. Unity teaches us that daily. I'd like to share some inspiring quotes as reminders to never give up, as we are constantly taught at Unity. Michael Jordan once said, "I've missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over in my life, and that is why I succeeded." Michael Jordan. Thomas Edison said, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." Walt Disney said, "All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth can be the best thing in the world for you." Orville Wright, an aviation pioneer, said, "If we all worked on the assumption that what is accepted as true is really true, there would be little hope of advance." Steve Jobs said, "I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance." We hear wisdom like that every day from each other, in the magazines, everywhere at Unity. Think positively. Use the obstacles to learn from. Don't let negative mass hypnosis affect you. I've learned here that the only hand that has or ever will hold me back is my own. I've learned to give myself the freedom to be me. I've learned that true forgiveness does not depend upon the forgiven person's being sorry. I've learned that we are not held back by the love we didn't receive when we were children, but by the love we're not extending right now. I've learned that love exists all around us, but if it does not exist within us, it may as well not exist at all. Bottom line, I feel like unity has given me the best and of the practical tools of the East and the West, the wisdom of the ages, and the most modern psychology. And these are a few of my favorite things. I was going to sing it. I practiced it 3 times and decided to spare you. A few of my favorite things about unity and why I love unity so much. I hope that today's smorgasbord of Unity's greatest hits, packaged in a spiritual roux for your consumption, will help you do some fine 5-star living this week. You deserve it. May we bless our offering. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is so. Amen. Unity of New Orleans, we'd like you to come up and vote for the new minister for Unity of New Orleans, and